Our family grew and we had a lovely little family set up, and then our world changed. Brian was diagnosed having a brain tumour. They weren't sure which type or whatever the case may be, but he had huge pressure in the brain, so they definitely needed to act quickly because he was having such severe headaches at that stage. It was kind of critical. The only option for Ryan was to have radical surgery. He came back to the recovery after theatre, and then we kind of noticed that he wasn't really sure of what was kind of going on, and he seemed very confused and agitated. And then we realised his memory was affected, so he had lost his short-term memory. At 6, trying to explain that to him was really, really hard, you know, for him to understand that this wasn't his fault. That was tough for him, you know, like he'd been out of school and he'd lost contact with all his friends.
I think it was like just trying to get him back to himself was kind of the hardest thing.
We all packed up to go to Barretstown that weekend, and the kids were absolutely delighted with themselves. We were all going away for a weekend. We hadn't been away together. We had been sleeping in hospitals and everyone was separated between family and friends and the whole lot. So it was really, really great. Just the warmth when we arrived, wasn't it?
Yeah, you go into the cottages and like 10 beds or whatever, 12 beds, and the kids couldn't believe it, you know.
They thought it was like Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, you know, that's what they thought when they went into the cottage. See all these beds lined up, they were like, this is Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs cottage. So they just thought they were in this magical place.
It's very emotional, I have to say, you know. And just, it's emotional and it's not in a sad way.
There was other children here as well who'd been in similar situations. It was a common ground for them to speak, you know, and they formed a bond and a friendship. Looking at them being so happy and carefree, and you're forgetting all that stress that happened on Friday because you're down in Barretstown for the weekend, and you know, you've forgotten really what's gone on the week because you're just looking at these kids running around, having a ball, laughing away, talking to other parents.
In the same situation. It's just therapeutic, I think. When you leave, you feel like a weight has been lifted off your shoulder, you know.
You know, coming to Barretstown as a family, like, it was great for them. It was just fantastic because they needed that. They needed it with Ryan because they'd actually lost him for that year. They needed it with Ryan because their brother wasn't there, you know. He was away from everything, and they had to go and see him places, and they had to go and see him here, and then he'd come home for a few days and go back to hospital.
Yeah. Before the operation, like, he was a really confident child. Like, he used to do like singing and dancing and drama. That's like where he was going, you know. He was like that kind of confidence, you know. And then like just since the operation, like, it's totally changed his character. Like, he's very insecure about himself, and he just, where he used to, he'd walk into a room and start chatting to everybody, you know. Now that's what I'm saying about Barretstown. Whatever happens when he comes down here, he does that in Barretstown. Just comes into his own.
It's that magic comes back out in him.
Back out, yeah.
Barretstown actually is Ryan's road to recovery. That inner kind of core of who Ryan was is still there.